Before we get into today's video, I want to encourage you, Saints fans, to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports. Our offseason coverage is in full swing, so if you want daily videos around the latest news, rumors, trade buzz, mock drafts, and everything in between, I highly encourage you to lock us in and subscribe for 100% free. The perfect offseason plan is here right now on Saints Now by Chat Sports. I'm going to dive into my 8-step plan for the New Orleans Saints to absolutely crush this offseason. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it. And without further ado, let's get to step number 1. Perfect offseason plan. You got to go ahead and just extend Chris Olave. I think that was one of the most obvious moves that needs to happen this offseason. And Kellen Moore and Mickey Loomis did speak to media on Wednesday, January 7th, and they said that that's something that's in the works. They're going to work on it. They hope that he wants to be around for the future, or they hope to keep him around for the future. He wants to be around for the future. So for what it's worth, I think that this is going to be something that gets done fairly soon. Chris Olave in 2025, 16 games played, but posted career highs in catches, in yards, in touchdowns. He was absolutely phenomenal. Him and Tyler Shough very clearly have some strong chemistry, and with number 12, I think that he's a player that the New Orleans Saints needed to see whether or not he was a part of the long-term plan. And dang it, he answered the question, and the answer was yes. He proved his value in 2025, not just as a wide receiver, but as a leader. He's starting to step into that role as well, and he's a player that you can tell is getting better, and I think he fits really well in the scheme. I think he fits really well with Tyler Shough. So this offseason, extend him and then work on building around him so that way you can maximize Chris Olave's usage. He was one of the better receivers in the National Football League this year. He was really, really good with fantasy football. So for number 12, I'm really, really excited about his future with the New Orleans Saints, and I hope that this extension gets done fairly soon. I think it will. Now, the second step to my perfect offseason plan, re-sign Alontae Taylor. He's a free agent this offseason. Chris Olave, he enters this year on his 5th-year option, so the Saints don't need to sprint to get a deal done, by the way. But for what it's worth, I think that that's a deal that'll get done soon. But another one. You do need to sprint to get this one done with Alontae Taylor because he is going to enter free agency as soon as that is official. With the New Orleans Saints and Alontae Taylor, I think that it's an interesting conversation because, in my opinion, he is a chess piece and a weapon in Brandon Staley's defense. I understand that there is criticism based on his coverage and sometimes missing tackles and over-pursuing here and there. But look, I think that he's extremely versatile. I think that he is a really, really fun player. I think he's a leader. I think that he's somebody who's really stepped up in a big way this season in 2025. And he had a really, really nice year. 2 sacks, 83 tackles, 11 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. He's expressed interest in returning to New Orleans. He said how much it would mean to come back, and I talked about this in full detail on the channel, so go check it out in some of my recent videos. They're linked down below. Now, step number 3, you got to go draft a weapon in round 1. I am not even going to limit it to a position. I'm not even going to limit it to offense or defense. I don't care what you do in the NFL draft in round 1. Just make sure you get a weapon. I think that the New Orleans Saints should be operating with the best player available mentality. So at number 8 overall, if one of these guys are available, I am very, very happy with one of these players. Carnell Tate, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. He is one of my favorite players in this entire draft class. I didn't include Jordan Tyson because I'm honestly starting to sour on him a little bit. Jeremiyah Love, I would think would be awesome at number 8 overall. David Bailey, an extremely productive edge rusher out of Texas Tech. I think he could add a lot of juice to this defense. Caleb Downs in Brandon Staley's defense would be absolutely insane. It does not matter whether or not you bring back Alontae Taylor. He would make an immediate impact, and I think he's somebody that should be highly considered. Arvell Reese, I don't see him being available at number 8, but Lord, if he is, you sprint to get that draft card submitted. With the Saints, like I said, in the draft here in April, you need to operate under the BPA mentality. Mickey Loomis, they even said today, talking to media, that they are in position to take a best player available. And He did even make a joke that it does increase the likelihood of maybe trading back, yada, yada. I don't think it's going to happen. But long story short, the Saints have an opportunity to just take a dog. You don't need to go get a quarterback. You don't need to go get the best wide receiver. You don't need to get the best offensive lineman. You don't need to get, you have some of these pieces around, so you can truly just take the guy who's going to make the most immediate impact and the biggest impact and the best football player that's on the board. I would love any of the 5 players that I showed you just a moment ago. But I want to ask you, who should the Saints draft in round 1? Let me know in the comments section. Offense, defense, wide receiver, lineman, safety, running back. I want to hear your thoughts. Share them down below and get active. Now, step number 4, we're halfway there. Oh, cut Cesar Ruiz. Yeah, I'm so over having him play on my team. And look, I try to be very cautious when I talk about some of these things because I don't want it to come off as I hate these players, I hate these guys, they're terrible, they should have no business, they're bums, they're losers. It's not any of that. But it is the fact that he's making over $14 million. He is going to be costing you considerable money, in my opinion. And for the money he's making and the product we get on the field, it is not worth it, in my personal opinion. I think with the New Orleans Saints only losing $2.6 million if you cut him pre-June 1st, you only get 2 post-June 1 designations to cut. So if you're going to do that, you don't even lose $3 million. I don't think it's that big of a deal. You can easily make up for some of that with one extra move. It really isn't that big of a deal to me. I think that the New Orleans Saints need to look at upgrading their interior offensive line, and Cesar Ruiz is somebody who, in my personal opinion, just needs to not be a part of the future. In 2025, he had 17 pressures. In 2024, 13, 2023, 27, 2022, he had 14 pressures allowed. He's just somebody who is unreliable. He has had some injury issues this year, and honestly, I just want to say with Cesar Ruiz, you got to upgrade the interior offensive line as a whole. It's not a Cesar Ruiz thing. It's not the guard position as a whole. It's just the interior offensive line as a whole. I love Eric McCoy, but he's now missed some considerable time in back-to-back seasons with injuries. That's something that's a little bit frustrating. You got to find a way to get him healthy. But Mickey Loomis did say when talking about the interior offensive line, that's an area that they're going to be paying a lot of attention to this offseason. So I do expect some moves to be made with Cesar Ruiz. I expect moves to be made around the interior offensive line as a whole. Maybe you go and sign a couple guys. Maybe you draft somebody. I don't think you need to prioritize guard in the draft like first or second round, but I do think that you need to upgrade and you need to make considerable upgrades. And for what it's worth, I don't think it's going to be that hard because it was really, really bad. Now, honorable mention, I'll just say add some tight end depth. I didn't include this in the list because I don't think it's the world's biggest need for the Saints. I think when you talk about the tight end room as a whole, Juwan Johnson has been holding it down. I really like what we've seen. I think we're cashing in on that contract even more so than we thought we would this year. He's been really impressive. You are getting really nice play from him. But I wouldn't mind bringing in an extra tight end to run some more 2 tight end sets, or just to get Juwan Johnson a water break, or you got to get off the field for whatever reason, or God forbid there's injuries there. I mean, a player like Isaiah Likely or David Njoku in free agency, those are some intriguing options. Kyle Pitts is a free agent as well. Not necessarily inclined to sign Kyle Pitts, although it would be objectively hilarious. Eli Stowers, Kenyon Sadiq, Max Clare, Michael Trigg, all options in the draft. I think that the Saints definitely should consider adding some depth to the tight end room, but I don't think it's the biggest need in the whole wide world. I'd say it's a little bit underrated need, though. Now, if you guys want to check out these awesome shirts I saw on sale, chatsports.com/SaintsT. I got a link for you. They're absolutely fresh. All sizes available. Click it down below or just search this right here, chatsports.com/SaintsT. You can get this fresh threads to rock this offseason, rock next year, right here by clicking that link down below. Now, step number 5, improve the interior offensive line, and I absolutely love that the New Orleans Saints addressed that this media session, if you will. Mickey Loomis, like I said that that's going to be an area of focus, and they're going to pay a lot of attention to it this offseason. I think when it comes to improving the offensive line, first things first, you got to go to step 4, which is cut Cesar Ruiz. Step 5, improve the interior offensive line. I mean, look at the trenches right now. It's just I have a lot of confidence in Fuaga, Banks, and when Eric McCoy's on the field, I love it. Luke Fortner, he was all right. He's a free agent this offseason. Maybe you bring him back, maybe you don't. Dylan Radins, he's a free agent this offseason. Maybe you bring him back, maybe you don't. Cesar Ruiz, I don't think needs to be a part of the future. Torricelli Simpkins, no disrespect to him. I know a lot of y'all are big fans of his, but I don't think that he's somebody who should be a starter quite yet. Of course, he can obviously develop really well this offseason, but when it comes to the offensive line as a whole, you got your center when he's healthy. I love Eric McCoy. Just got to stay on the field. Your tackles, you're set there. But the interior of the offensive line has been such a problem. You're having really bad issues with pass rushes up the middle. You're having a really hard time establishing a rushing attack. And the New Orleans Saints need to find ways to open up their offense even more and protect their quarterback, create running lanes, and just overall be better in the trenches. And in terms of the interior offensive line, who are some guys that the Saints could add? Well, I got two draft targets and 2 free agent targets. You could go get Francis Mauigoa or Spencer Fanu in the draft. Mauigoa is a player for the Miami Hurricanes. Make sure you check in with him in the Fiesta Bowl. Spencer Fanu, the draft player the draft eligible player. He is out of Utah. I think that he's somebody that could kick into the interior and play really well. Same with Francis Mauigoa. Braden Smith, he's a free agent that Saints could potentially bring him in. Joel Bitonio, he's got a lot of experience as well. I don't think that the Saints need to spend top dollar on a guard. I would personally be totally cool with bringing in a Braden Smith, but at the end of the day, you got to address the interior offensive line and get some improvements. Number 6, let's add some juice to the rushing attack. And honestly, you do number 5. I think that impacts number 6, but I also think that you should not be content with what you currently have. Talking about the running back room right now, Alvin Kamara, he is on the wrong side of 30, dealt with injuries in the season, not expected to deal with any, the injuries aren't expected to carry over or impact the offseason, but, you got to look at getting your true RB1 replacement at some point. RB2, you have Kendre Miller. Has not proven to be on the field, but really electric when he is on the field. Devin Neal, jury's out, but I was really impressed with what I saw. Audric Estime is in the fold. He was really impressive, the unsung hero for the Saints offense after Devin Neal was placed on IR. But I think that there's one player that can make an immediate impact. If you wanted to go sign somebody and just not make it a draft need, you wanted to go spend some cash, how about Breece Hall? I think with Breece Hall, he's somebody who can do everything. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He can block. He can literally do whatever you want. He's only 24 years old. I think with Breece Hall, he's a player that could easily be just slid right into Alvin Kamara's role. I'm not trying to push Alvin Kamara out by any means, but calling a spade here, wasn't very productive, wasn't very available. There are factors as to why that was the case, but you bring in Breece Hall, I think that he's an immediate upgrade in the running back position. Now, maybe you don't want to spend money. Totally understand that. Let's go and draft one then. I love Jeremiyah Love. I think that he is a really intriguing option at number 8 overall. I think that he would be awesome in the Kellen Moore offense, and I think that he would open up the playbook even more so. Justice Haynes, I think he's a really nice football player out of Michigan as well. Jonah Coleman, I think that he's somebody that could also provide some receiving ability. And then Katron Allen, the Penn State running back as well. You see the production on your screen. If you give me one of those 4 guys, I am a happy camper, but I just think that the running back room is an area that needs to be addressed this offseason. And again, it's not necessarily to push out Alvin Kamara. It's not necessarily to replace Kendre Miller. It's just to give you more reliable players and guys that can walk in and make an impact day one. Not saying that AK can't do it again next year. Not saying that Kendre Miller is a bust or anything, but you got to be smart and you got to think about how you can maximize this offense, and opening up the rushing attack is a really important way to do that. Now, pick a running back for me. Would you rather get Jeremiyah Love, number 8 overall, or would you rather sign Breece Hall to a contract? Share your thoughts down below. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. Now, step number 7, just got 2 more for you. Let's bring back Demario Davis. Let's bring back Cam Jordan. I think it's really cool that not just the players have expressed interest in returning, the Saints as well have expressed interest in bringing them back too. Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore addressed this to media today. Mickey Loomis said that he was excited to hear that they wanted to play in 2026. On the surface, they want them back, but there's too many variables to answer right now if that's going to happen, which is essentially what Cam Jordan and Demario Davis have also said. Catherine Terrell pointed a lot of this out as well on Twitter. It's all over the place. Go check it out on social media. I retweeted a bunch of these as well. But when it comes to the Saints, with Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, we know there's mutual interest. We know they need to figure out the contracts. We know that we need to figure out whether or not they're going to retire. We know we need to figure out whether or not it's in the best interest of the long-term future. And in my personal opinion, it is. Cam Jordan and Demario Davis, they are valuable players, not just on the field, but in the locker room too. The veterans are both playing at an extremely high level. Cam Jordan, double-digit sacks. Demario Davis posting a career high in tackles this season. I think when it comes to what they mean to the culture of the team, to the city of New Orleans, to the locker room, to the field, to every aspect around this football team, Cam Jordan and Demario Davis are still making a positive impact, and for those reasons, I would bring them back this offseason without even thinking about it. Plus, I do think you can give yourself a little bit of cap help in terms of freeing up some of that money for this year. Now, last one. This is a big one, and I saved the best for last. Upgrade special teams. I already talked about replacing Phil Galliano here on the channel. We went through a couple of candidates. You guys want to check it out? It's on the channel earlier last week, I believe. But when it comes to the special teams unit, I think the only thing you really can say you're confident in is your long snapper and Zach Wood. No disrespect to Charlie Smith. I do think having a healthy kicker battle is important. I would be saying it if it was Charlie Smith. I would be saying it if it was Blake Gillikin a few years ago. I would be saying it if it was Garrett Hartley a few years ago. I don't care. A kicker battle is important. You want to make sure you have the best guys in the room on the field every single week. I also think a new punter is an absolute must. Kai Kroger was not getting it done. The New Orleans Saints need to upgrade at the punter position, and a return specialist. I mean, you are definitely missing Rashid Shaheed in terms of how the New Orleans Saints return the football on punts and on kicks. The Saints need somebody to step up in that role and help create explosive plays, help create new opportunities, help flip the field, and add a spark to the team. When it comes to the Saints, the return specialist and a Rashid Shaheed replacement is extremely, extremely important in my opinion. And I think you can easily do that by getting like a KC Concepcion in the draft. You can have him be a contributor as a kick or as a return specialist. Have him return or contribute as a receiver as well. I think when it comes to the Saints, special teams needs to be a focus, and they need to upgrade in that regard. Now, I do think all in all, this is going to be a fun offseason. I think that there's going to be a lot of changes, and I don't think that it's going to be like drastic, massive, franchise-altering changes, but I do think that there will be changes. And I think we're going to see some players retire. I think we're going to see some players come back for their last victory lap. I think we're going to see some, really interesting decisions being made in terms of building for the future. And I'm really excited to see not just how the Saints attack free agency, but honestly the draft. I think that's what I'm most excited to see, how the New Orleans Saints go about it. So with this offseason, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be here every single step of the way. That's why you subscribe to the channel. It's also why you hit me up on social media, because I'm going to be sharing my thoughts every single day. Just search up Trizzy Trace on your favorite social media platform, and your boy is posting over there. X, Instagram, TikTok, trying to grow the platforms. Get me to 10K on one of these. I don't care which one, but let's keep on keeping on. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports, my 8-step plan to fix the New Orleans Saints, the perfect offseason plan. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know where your thoughts are. Did I miss anything? Did I nail it? Grade it down below, and y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.